What's going on, y'all? It's J Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys my recap here early the next day for last night's Queen of the Ring Prom Night 2 event, second major intergender event of September. Queen of the Ring's big contribution here to 2024, and we will not be mincing words in this one because I can tell you right now, this is one of the worst events that I've watched this year, and I watch a ton of battle rap, right? For the Cody panel, just in general, love battle rap. And you guys know I watch a ton. I watch a ton of good battle rap. I watch a ton of bad battle rap. And at some point, you get a little bit numb to when things are, not that great. You know what I'm saying? Not the best events, mediocre events, but every once in a while you watch one that really frustrates you. You know what I'm saying? And from a technical aspect, production aspect, in the ring, the raps that occurred in the ring, or the lack of raps that I should say that occurred in the ring, there is a plethora of problems with this event. So without further ado, man, let's just start with the preliminary battles. Like I said, there's preliminary battles. They added battles from what was originally supposed to be an event the day before called the pregame. It's going to be done by Bars and Roses, a lower-level female battle rap league. Still an intergender event, but it was going to give them some shine, some lower names, right? And then it was going to be Queen of the Ring with their event the day after. But weather ends up getting that event canceled. Hurricane Helene, I believe it is. Whatever reason, the event is canceled. And then Queen of the Ring picks up 3 of the battles from that card, 2 1-rounders and a 3-rounder, which, would have worked if Queen of the Ring had their shit together maybe, but they didn't. They would have had delays and audio issues and all that. So all you've done is added battles that are lower than the product that you're selling to the card to just extend the card, right? And then whatever audio issues that probably the beginning of the card would have went to all these preliminary battles, right? The audio is fucked. There's hour-long delays between the battles. It's just bad. Ease versus Mallory X, 1-rounder came and went, could barely hear it. Appa versus Rainfire Moon, could even hear it less, which sucks because it looked like Appa did really good, but all you hear is Debo in the background, the commentary mic, like incoherent. We did not hear that battle. I just gotta let both battlers know it's not your fault, but the people on stream didn't hear what you were saying. And then you had a 3-round preliminary battle with Cassius Clay versus Raw Image, where Cassius 30'd Raw Image. I did not think Raw Image was very good in this battle at all. And Cassius Clay, shout out to them, battled in all drag, didn't stop him, went on to a 3-0 victory. Doesn't really matter to me. However, when we're 2 hours and 15 minutes delayed from the original card, because these battles are not on the card, this is not what people asked for, and there's a point where in a dress and a wig, right, throws the wig off to get reaction, proceeds to put on a fitted and wrap the rest of the battle on with a fitted in a dress. It was a zoo. There was just anything going on at this point in time, right? Audio's messed up. You got Babs running on the pay-per-view stream. Like, I'm trying to get Rap Grid to get their shit together. And if there's any lesson that we can learn here from the preliminaries, please get back to 5 to 6 battle cards. We don't want extra. We don't want to be surprised the day of, because so many events try it, and it's not a doable amount of time, people. Battle rap events cannot be 6 to 8 hours every time. It just cannot be this way. And it led to them like rushing through the main card, which thank God, because I'm going to tell you now, a lot of that ended up ass anyways, but this was a mess. Like, before you even hit the first battle of the official card, we are in hell. But then you get to the initial card itself. Like I said, right? First battle, First Lady Flames versus Myron. This is a 3-0 whooping. Because at the end of the day, once again, First Lady Flames has not showed up clean to her battle. She did it earlier this year versus 40 Bars, which was a much bigger battle for her. And I'm a big believer in her talent, which is why I predicted her to win this battle going in. But when I really thought about it, if she's not going to try for 40, granted on a smaller league, but that means a lot to you, what made me think that she was going to try for this Myron battle? She's got some good content here and there, but she basically chokes, if not stumbles, all 3 rounds, and Mac just packs her up. And I didn't even think it was the craziest Mac performance, but his second is good. He's got the energy and entertainment factor right. He's kind of disrespecting, belittling her a bit, getting some jokes off, just doing what he has to do to have a solid performance versus someone that's completely just like rolling over and dying. So off rip, we got a battler choking in almost every round. We got Myron clear over First Lady Flames. And I have to mention, this was a judged event, right? You had 4 judges. You had Fonz, John DeDon, Ines, and DeBoss, who I got to say, out of everyone of the night, the judges might have done they only had to call clear battles for the most part, but they're the only ones that weren't bizarre in their job. We're actually going to talk about something John did that was fucking hilarious later in this event. But first battle goes down, right? You got that. Then you got Jerry West versus Chirac, which Chirac got the jazz plate coming up, so people are interested to see what she's going to do, and the battle starts pretty good. Both of their first rounds are good. I had Jerry pretty clear, though. I thought content-wise it was close, but you can just see Jerry is just a sharper all-around battle rapper. His delivery, his execution, the rapping ability, the pace of his round. Even though it's close bar-wise, he's just doing the other things better. Second round of the battle, Chirac steps up. It's what I like to see, uphill writing. I actually think the second is fairly competitive. Jerry still has a good round. She ends her round awkward. I wasn't thinking much of it, right? But she ends her round kind of But it was pretty close content-wise. Like, there's a debate to be had. It's not like she choked or anything. But then the next round, I'll do you one better. Not only does Chirac choke, Jerry West chokes. When the fuck does Jerry West choke? You know what I'm saying? He's rapping first. He chokes for 5 to 7 seconds. Gets it back, though, and then finishes this round. The door's open for Chirac. If she clearly gets this third, the second's close, you were predicted to lose going in, you don't know which way those judges are going to sway. But when you choke 30 seconds in for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes and don't get it back, you made the decision pretty easy on him. And this one's specifically tough because obviously she's got the jazz play coming up. And anyone that's watched Chirac, me included, I love her talent. I super believe in her. Like, out of the female battle rappers, she is one of my more favorite to watch at the moment. However, out of 4 battles this year, she has choked multiple times and lost in 3 of them. I'm very happy about the Yoshi performance. Obviously, that's how you get to the jazz plate. We like to see newer talents or talents that are aspiring to reach higher levels perform in big spots. However, Yoshi G might have not won a battle in over a year. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since I've seen Yoshi win a battle, although she's pretty good. And I don't know how a Yoshi G win just skyrockets you to a jazz plate, because after what I've seen most of this year, and specifically versus Jerry West, Chirac has a very high dying percentage versus Jazz the Rapper. It is very possible that's just a body, like one of the easier body bags to predict. And it's not to disrespect Chirac, but if you can't handle Jerry in this room and staying clean, right? Jazz the Rapper in a bigger room, in a bigger moment, I can't, like, I just can't. You know what I'm saying? So, really rough look for Chirac, but so far we're 2 battles in, and 3 of the 4 talents have choked on the card already. From there, we go into Danny Myers versus Shooney the Rapper, which in comparison to the rest of the event, this is like default battle of the night. This is like the only kind of plus side stuff that we have. And, you know, they start the battle. Listen, they're dressed to the nines. I saw people saying Danny looked like a saxophone player, like a chauffeur. He looked like Jonathan Majors when he broke up the fight with those teenagers. And then you had Shooney with that, like, chic green mask on, looking like a seductive beekeeper. You know what I'm saying? So they're dressed nice for the event. And their first round is really good, to be honest with you. I like Danny's first round. Shooney's first ends up being really one of the better rounds of the event. Haymakers back to back. What'd she say? Spent your whole career chasing loaded. Now it's something loaded chasing you. She had a couple bars like that, couple Myers flips. I liked it. So I had Shooney 1-0 in the first. We started good. We get to the second round of the battle. We're still doing pretty good. I had Danny winning this round, though. I saw some of the judges say it could be a gentleman's ladylike 30 for Shooney, but I thought Danny out-rapped her. She rapped longer in the second, but her landing rate wasn't as consistent. I just didn't think that it was as powerful as a round, while I thought Danny might have even had a better second than he had at first. So I had it 1-1 going into the third, and the third is just feels like Danny taking a misfire, right? Because Shooney stayed punching at him, stayed angling at him, pretty much continued her game plan in the first 2 rounds. She was clean in this battle. So on a card where everyone choked, Shooney was like one of the only people fully clean. I like that. You know what I'm saying? A little out of the normal, but I definitely fuck with it. And then Danny has an okay third, but he has a segment where he screams out, "I'd rather fuck E Hart." We're trending in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? And his mic went out. But what people didn't catch is I don't think in the building is this like 16-bar segment of Danny talking about fucking E Hart a couple times. We've lost it. We've absolutely lost it. And this is your battle of the night. So I did have Shooney winning the third round of the battle. I thought her third was beatable, but like I said, I had Not a fan of some of these approaches that Danny Myers took in the third. And she did win the judge vote 2-1. And so far, you know what I'm saying? I will say it is the one battle that we had basically no turbulence in. So I guess that's a plus. Then you have Coffee Brown versus Shotgun Suge next, which was a matchup I was kind of skeptical of, right? And the event was bad up to this point, but this is where truly it takes that next step into being one of the biggest offenses of 2024, right? So the first round starts, and it starts how I thought. Coffee was good, looking good in her first, but rapping good, most importantly. Angles were good. Talking about Suge not really giving a fuck in 2024, which he continues to not do in this battle. Barring him away in between as well. Like, it's a strong Coffee first. And then it's on Suge in the first, who were, some jokes here about how people dressed. I don't know what the fuck Suge was wearing. Bro was like in a Dickie suit with just a tie and like a chain over the loose tie. I mean, he just was dressed like confusion. There was so much going on. But he raps, and what do you know? He stumbles very early in the round. He's rushing through it and basically chokes in his first round. So, like pretty much most battles of the last 2 years of Suge's career, he's just giving away donations. So it's 1-0 Coffee. You get into the second round. Coffee's worse in the second. Like, she takes a step down, but it's not like a bad second round at all. But this is where you start to see her upset with the crowd a bit, right? You see it on Suge's side too, because his second, I expect him to throw the second the way he threw the first. His second is like pretty good. He's rushing through the material again. Clearly it's a little stumbly here and there, but both of them were stumbling in the second by this point. And content-wise, it might have been a fairly close round. I probably still would have edged Coffee, but there was more of a conversation. I'm like, maybe this battle is going in the right direction. But right before the third starts, Coffee says this crowd is dead as fuck. Not a great sign when the performer mid-battle is not happy with the crowd, right? I did not know how unhappy Coffee was with the crowd until she got half a sentence into her third. Like, not a bar, none of that. Like, I came here tonight. That's not what she said, but basically got that many words out. And somebody was talking through a round, cuts the round. She just says, you know what, fuck y'all, I'm not rapping. Throws away the third, like 3 words into her third. You don't see that very often. You know what I'm saying? We're going off the rails. We have talents quitting mid-battle, right? And then she follows that up abruptly with, and Suge, I'm finna talk through your shit since they all just talked through mine. And that's what she did. She talked through Suge's round for about 30 seconds. Why just 30 seconds? Because Suge chokes almost instantaneously in his round as well. It's almost like both of them just quit on the battle in the third because they were so over the crowd. They were so over the event. And then, of course, what does this lead to? What is the big thing I'm seeing from Hip Hop Is Real, right? Like, what are, like, the clips that are getting thousands of views? It's not based on raps. It's based on Coffee almost getting in a fight with Shooney, who was in the crowd after the battle. And what's great is that they were about to announce, like, whoever won the battle, the judges, but the fight starts happening. You just hear John say, hey, yo, DJ, man, DJ, play some music, man. Help these people out, man. Take the attention off them. It's a full-on comedy scene at this point because the music's playing. They're holding Coffee back from going at Shooney in the crowd. NHB Mills is just talking shit somewhere up there on stage. You just hear John in the background trying to hype people up. Hey, go, like, turn into a dance party. We have lost the fucking plot. It's you know what I'm saying? So Coffee and Suge ends. They gave Coffee the judge vote after. I don't know what. I wouldn't have even judged the battle. I would have just acted like it simply did not happen. You're not going to see a more awkward ending than what that was. And I got to say, Coffee, not great. Not a great look for you. But if there's any event, I guess, where you're going to pull, like, just get frustrated and just say, fuck it, it's going to be an event like this that is just sinking quickly. And usually I have 2 more battles to talk about here, right? Because Hustle and Trez was scheduled, and then the main event was Av and 40. We just mystically don't cover, no Hustle and Trez, right? Av and 40 battles. Listen, Av won 3-0. It's actually probably the best 40 I've seen this year, all things considered. But even with that comes the stumbles, comes the lack of pace, right? Her second, I think, was up there kind of competitive with Av. She had a good second, but Av's best round of the battle is the second round. So I thought that was better than her best round in the second, right? He clearly won the first where she was stumbling throughout. And then the third round of the battle, I just thought he cleaned up and won. She was okay in the third, right? But then we get no Hustle versus Trez, right? You have this 3-0 main event. It was cool. And you just have a battle not go down, which for me, if you see my predictions, Hustle versus Trez is the only battle that I was like super looking forward to in this card. I thought they could have a fight, but of course, in natural, just sneaky business fashion, right? They just don't announce it, which is funny because if you checked Rap Grid's like pay-per-view listing beforehand, you'll see they took Hustle versus Trez off the list. Most people wouldn't notice that, right? Maybe some think it's a typo, but maybe that was showing that this battle wasn't going to go down. But what do? You announce it as you're closing the event. You're just covering all the possible bad things you can do as a league at this point. You're not keeping it real with the people. You got production issues throughout. Your run time is way over time. Battle rappers have choked. Chirac choked. Jerry West choked. First Lady Flames choked. Coffee choked. Suge choked. 40 was stumbling. That's 6 battlers, right? We have 5 battles on the main card. You got 10 battlers. Over half of the talent on the card is coming unprepared to the card. I cannot overstate how ridiculous this event turned out. And the last thing I want to address from one of the battles on the card real quick is doubling back to Av and 40. Shout out Av because this is going to add to his 2024 judge win on 40 on Queen of the Ring. Can't hurt your case. So I said no one walked out positives from the event. Got to give Av his credit, his props. But you have 40 and the 40 for Wody, right? And this method of just getting a big resume. Fuck what you did in the battles. Just having that big resume for the year and having your friends, the people that like you, just argue, oh, she has to be up there. She battled this, this, and this. 40 has battled Sharon, dominantly lost that battle, right? One of the more dominant losses of the entire Mass 6 event. Pretty much a home game for her. Battles Twerk. Some of you got her winning. I guess the battle's not clean on either side. I had Twerk in one of the worst battles of the night. And then here she gives Queen of the Ring, where she's at her strongest. She gives one of her best performances of the year and doesn't win a round versus Av. Please stop trying to just say 40 bars Wody until it's a thing. You have to win battles to get considered for that. You have to be impactful in battles to get considered for that. You have to do Wody level things. You can't just get the resume and that's it. You have to do things with it. So it's one of those unnatural campaigns, and you'll see it for Cody and Wody all the time, right? And you just let battlers go about it. But this one in particular, I'm seeing somebody last night, was trying to say 40 won the battle over Av. Like, what are we doing? Lying to our friends doesn't make our friends better at anything. And it's just, I 40 for Wody. None of that around me, please. But that was my only other thought here on the main event. And that's really my thoughts for the event, man. And it's just such a shame that it went bad in every direction. But I could say I'm good on intergender events for a while after this. We see the matchups scattered throughout the year. We're going to see more intergender matchups, but cards that are based around it, it is lost, since you see the matchups more often, it's lost that allure of oh, this is the one time we're getting this battles. It's not. And if we're going to get events like this, just don't book this concept. You know what I'm saying? Over half of the battlers choking, ridiculous. The audio being the way it was, ridiculous. And it is an event that, you know what I'm saying? One of the lowlights here for 2024. However, this might be the trial and tribulation that we needed to go through before we get to endgame. Power moves, whatever URL has cooking up. They said they got a big card. There is great stuff on the way, and maybe this was this final sacrifice of quality and time we needed before we hit this run of events. But that's my thoughts, man. Leave your comments down below. How do you feel about the quality of the event? The audio issues, all that. What are your complaints? If there is positives, what are they? Like I said, Av and Shooney, got to give them credit, right? They did their thing. I guess Mac and Jerry, because they won their battle, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's been J Smo Reviews again here, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.